So, what if the best leaders are actually the ones who don't even want the job? I know, it's a strange thought, right? We're so used to thinking of leadership as this big prize that people chase after. But in a free and healthy society, is it really about ambition or is it about responsibility? Today, we're going to dig into this idea, the surprising call to lead that you might just be ignoring. I mean, think about it, the last election you voted in, or maybe a big change at your workplace. Did you ever stop and wonder if the people stepping up were in it for the right reasons? This question, ambition versus responsibility, it's at the very heart of how we build a healthy community. And trust me, the answer changes everything. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It suggests that the most trustworthy leaders, the real deal, aren't the ones who are craving the spotlight, no. They're the ones who see a genuine need and feel this profound sense of duty to act, even if they'd much rather be doing something else. You see, that reluctance, it isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of humility. Okay, so if you shouldn't be chasing a leadership position like it's some kind of career goal, then how in the world do you know when it's calling? You. Let's dive into the surprising signs from the outside world that might mean you're exactly the leader your community needs right now. Now notice something here. All of these are signals coming from the outside. The call to lead isn't really about your internal ambition, it's a response to a problem out there that just needs a solution. So when you see trust breaking down or a critical job being done poorly, and it seems like nobody else is stepping up, well, that might just be your cue. Let's make this really clear. Think about a local official, right? Are they focused on actually fixing the potholes and making the schools better? Or are they more interested in photo ops and, getting their name in the paper? The first one, that's service. It accepts responsibility and it makes the community stronger. The second one, that's all ego. It just chases power and it slowly chips away at our trust. All right, so we've established that real leadership is about service. But what does that service actually look like? Because it's not always about having a formal title or winning an election. There are two incredibly powerful ways to lead, and honestly, one of them might surprise you. Have you ever noticed how just one person's positive attitude can completely change the vibe of a room? Yeah, that's influence. It's that quiet, everyday leadership you have just by being a good neighbor, a reliable colleague, or a caring friend. It's basically a superpower we all have. And then you've got authority. This is the leadership that comes with a title, a school board member, a nonprofit director. This is a role with real official duties and serious accountability. It's a heavy responsibility for sure, and it's a call for some people, but definitely not for everyone. So, which path is for you? Are you an influencer, shaping your community through your everyday actions? Or are you maybe being called to a position of authority with all the heavy lifting that comes with it? The key is to recognize your own strengths and to really value both kinds of service. We've looked at the external signals, but what about that little voice inside your own head? How do you know if it's a genuine call to lead or if it's just your own ambition talking? Okay, let's dig into the personal signs. So, do any of these sound familiar? If you're the person who's already pitching in without even being asked, the one your friends come to for advice, and you care way more about getting the job done right than who gets the credit, well, you might just have the exact makings of a great leader. It's not about seeking power, it's about being of service. This quote just perfectly captures the whole thing. Leadership isn't about climbing some ladder just to get a better view for yourself. No, it's about stewardship. It's about taking care of something precious for the good of everyone, not just for your own benefit. So let's say you've decided to answer the call, but then there's that nagging thought, right? What if power changes me? Well, it's not about avoiding power altogether. It's about having a really strong moral compass to navigate it. So let's look at the guardrails that will keep you on the right path. Think of this as your practical guide to leading with integrity. It's all about being humble enough to admit you don't have all the answers, being brave enough to truly listen to criticism, and being wise enough to know when it's time to let someone else take the lead. Look, it's not easy, but it is absolutely essential. And the stakes here are incredibly high. Leaders who empower others and who know when to let go, they build strong, lasting institutions. But those who cling to power for their own sake, they can do some serious damage, eroding the very trust that holds our communities together. Okay, so are you ready to put these principles into practice? The great news is you don't have to run for president to make a huge difference. The most impactful leadership often happens much, much closer to home than you'd ever think. Seriously, forget the national headlines and all the fancy titles. The real action is happening right in your own backyard. These local roles, yeah, they might not be glamorous, but they have a massive impact on the daily lives in your community. This is where you can truly make a difference. So the first step is really simple. Just look around. Take a walk around your neighborhood. What do you see? A park that needs a cleanup? A local charity that needs a few more volunteers? The path to leadership starts by simply noticing what needs to be done. Now for the tough question, a little self-reflection here. Are you willing to put in the hard work, even if you never get any recognition for it? Because true service is about making a tangible difference, not about getting a pat on the back. And here it is, the final gut check. Ask yourself honestly, are you drawn to the idea of being a leader, or are you ready to embrace the very real responsibility that comes with it? Your answer right there will determine your path. Ready to get started? Here's a simple roadmap. Find one need in your community and just start serving in a small way, no title needed. Talk to people you respect who've been there before, and then take some time to reflect. Are you truly ready for this, or are you just eager? The answer will guide you. So, at the end of the day, what does this all mean for you? Leadership isn't something you go out and seize. It's a responsibility you accept. And our communities, well, they are desperate for good people who are willing to step up when the time is right, and just as importantly, to step back when their work is done. The only question left is it your time?